Hey guys, this is my weekly video, and of all the new social media outlets that we've had to choose from today, I definitely wanted to choose the Pinterest one, just because with farming, I really wanted to really touch on the visual components and really relate to the people who are in my demographic the most, and I thought this one was the best way to do so. And so I've had a lot of fun doing Pinterest. This is the first time I'm on it, and it's really a great resource, I think, to find different avenues and to reach different topics within the subject I'm looking for. And with farming in particular, I wanted to do, I know in the professor's your video this week, you talked about Build It and how Lowe's was doing one. I wanted to do Farm It. So in Farm It, I had different farming methods, and I wanted to go into a couple of examples I'm going to look at here. Here's one, rooftop farming in New York City. Here's one called vertical farming. This is on a very low scale, but this is different kinds of lettuce farmers are doing, and it's not taking up any land. You can do it on the side of a barn or the side of a wall. And just one more example, here's different potatoes. So all the type of potatoes farmers will cultivate in their fields and such. So that's just one example. Farm It, I've added 17 pins to it so far. And that's going to highlight different types of farming methods farmers will use. And then after that, I had trouble thinking of an idea, but after a while, I wanted to look at how farming is done across the country. So I did 4 different states, and starting with Vermont, mainly because that's where I'm from, and I thought it'd be interesting to look at different pictures and see the beautiful landscape and such. You'll see a trend throughout. You see a lot of classic barns, red barns that you'll see that you've seen since kids. You see some beautiful foregrounds. You got mountains, you got tons of rolling, cascading hills, and like I said, the red barns are themed throughout. Classic. So I see a lot of dairy farms too as well. Whenever you see these silos here, in the pictures, those always contain feed, which means they have cows, which means they have dairy farms. So that's trending throughout Vermont farms, and I had so much fun with this and finding different pictures. I wanted to see what it was like across the country, and compare and contrast through pictures. And I think that's what Pinterest has really helped me as far as finding different relatable aspects of farms, and definitely some differences. Like in California, it's right off the bat, it's way more colorful. And that's because there's flower farms, there's fruit farms, and I mean, just look at this one. It's really cool, and this farmer's a lavender farmer, flowers, and this other one I was looking at here. It has a windmill there, but like I said, in the mountains, that's a similarity. And there's beautiful scenery. There's mountains, and there's farms everywhere. There's a wind farm here. It shows the diversity between farms, and with the warmer weather, obviously there's greater advantages to do flowers because you can do it year round. Whereas in Vermont, there's different seasons. Wisconsin, definitely more like Vermont, but there's multiple silos, which means there's much bigger. It's on a much bigger scale. There's much more land in Wisconsin, and you're able to grow way more plants and way more feed. And you can just see all the land space here. This is all wheat, and there's a single barn here, and you can just keep going on and on with these comparisons. But and then I also did one more with Texas. You obviously have the Panhandle. You have way more cattle farms. There's cattle over here and beef farms. So this is a great exercise of how using Pinterest to to see differences and to really get a good look at how farms are across the region, and then with farming you can see what kind of farms are out there and what they're doing. So that was that, and then on to the schedule for the rest of the semester. Starting with the upcoming week here, I wanted to talk about the aging population of farmers, and then the subject. Will the younger demographic get involved? I want to look at different types of graphs, charts, videos, and then through the written word, and using all four different avenues here. Trying to find the long-term future of farmers. Will the younger demographic get involved? And Facebook, the one I wanted to highlight the most. I wanted to poll everybody. How many young followers are interested in farming? And a lot of my followers are younger people, and I want to see if any of them are interested or have looked into it. And Pinterest is another one. I want to create a board of farming families and just remind people, just to remind people about how their parents grew up on it, and how it's really just a dying art. And I want to see if there's any cool pictures to remind people of the value that there is in farming families, and how it's just a great place to grow up. Another week here, the lack of capital in farming. Just the cost of new technology and securing land is huge nowadays, and that's the subject I wanted to highlight here. I wanted to have a lot of numbers in this one, spreadsheets, and then a few personal stories about how maybe a lack of capital has made them not want to get into farming anymore. So visualization is key. And I want to use that in my blogging, Facebook, Twitter. I want to ask questions and find influencers within the government field, and ask why there's no money in it, and why they keep scaling back, and because farming is going to be around forever and ever, and I want to find out why they keep taking money away from it. So the next one is the immigration workers. Are they taking jobs away from Americans, and how would new technology impact them? I definitely want personal stories here. I want to get videos. I want to get people's accounts, because it's a debate, and I want to have that on my blog too, and I want to give a personal and a negative viewpoint of farmers. So definitely videos would be huge, because I want them talking about it. I want to see their faces when they talk, their emotions, their voice, their tone. And then retweeting influencers, both positive and negative, would be good. Try to just spark up some debate, and I want to create a board for the changing faces of farming. It's huge. Immigration's huge, and the amount of people working in farming now, because it's an easy way to get in the country, because not a lot of people want to do it now. So they want to do it, and they have becoming more and more changing face of farming. So moving on, the expiring farm bill. What this means for future farming is the subject here, and I want again more visual data. I want a before and after analysis. I want to show what farming was like, the prices, the mindset before and then after. I want to look at what the increasing prices will mean for farmers, and what it means for the consumers as well. So, and then a big one I wanted to ask on Facebook was, prices are expected to increase to $6 a gallon by January 1st. I want to know, will consumers still buy milk, and what will that mean? If the prices will increase, that means will the farmers see more money? And then the board I wanted to do was what farming looked like 50 years ago, and what it looked like now. And I want to do that because the pricing of milk is still not really elevated, in the way it should. Whereas you look at college prices, how those have increased throughout the years, and milk prices have really flatlined. So next one, unfavorable climate. What are farmers looking to do to combat the heat and cold? I want to get a lot of pictures here. blogging examples of products, machines that can withstand these conditions. The heat, with global warming, it's just going to get worse and worse, and especially in the Midwest region where we have the huge fields, huge wheat fields, huge corn fields, how this is going to impact the crops. So I want to find the Twitter handle of suppliers, what they're doing to reach the public, what they're doing, what their prices are like, and get an insight that way. I want to ask farmers on Facebook what they're doing to battle the heat, and then create a board on dry climate farming, just looking at what the fields look like, what the machines look like that they use, so different stuff like that. The next one, feed prices are skyrocketing, so that's another issue I want to look at. What's the importance of keeping prices affordable? I want to look at studies on what cows intake, and then what the pricing is thereafter. There's going to be a difference between the ones in Northeast and the ones in the Midwest, but I want to look at each one. What will happen if they don't lower? Will farmers have to retire, sell their farm, or go bankrupt? And I want to spark a debate, because the government has a big hand in this and why they're so pricey. I want to ask if other farmers on Facebook, if there's a way of is there a way of going around paying the huge cost of it? And I want to create a board on what cows eat. Grass is definitely one, but when farmers have to resort to feed in the wintertime, or if crops are not there, and how what the typical grain food looks like. So the final leak, land development, the amount of farmers selling the land to bigger business, or it's because they can't afford to run their operations anymore, is just becoming more and more evident throughout the country. I really want to do personal stories and accounts and videos, showcase video pictures on old abandoned farms, both on blogging, tweets, Facebook, and on Pinterest. So that's translating all throughout. I want picture of farms that have really gone downhill, and what they look like now and what they looked like 50 years ago. So in each week here, I have highlighted many different issues of what farmers face, everything from old population to the expiring farm bill to lack of capital, so on and so forth. And this is a big reason why I started this blog, is because farmers there's a lot of issues. There's a lot of problems they're facing now, and technology is becoming more and more a factor, and I think it'll not only help the farmers now, but it'll help them down the road, attracting a younger demographic, attracting people who are 10 to 15 years old, who will be the future face of farming. And I want to show how the technology will become more and more of a factor, and how it'll be important for them to get on board and to get committed, so that farming doesn't suffer 10 to 15 years from now. So I take a look at that. There's true progression. There's no really events I want to look at, but the subjects really carry the discussion. So I feel like I can get a ton of content on here, and take it week by week, and we'll see where we go from here. So thanks guys for listening, and I hope you have